Hello and welcome to a short guitar lesson by me, Reese Gerwin. Today's lesson is about notes on the fretboard. We need to find our notes on the fretboard as guitar players because, well, we want to play more guitar and learn as much as we can about this instrument, right? Well, and if you don't, maybe you just want to freshen up your senses a little bit, and that's okay too. So, learning the notes on the fretboard is two things. It's very simple and tedious. So that's kind of good news because it's easy. The bad news is that it just takes a while and you have to be very consistent about it. The way to do that is to build it into your playing. First, let's talk about how you find the notes on the fretboard. Standard tuning is what I use and most people use. That's why it's called standard tuning. E, A, D, G, B, and E, right? E, A, D, G, B, E. So these are notes. These are letters, right? In music theory, we use letters to depict pitch. And when we talk about notes, typically in music theory, we refer to notes in their pitch class. So if I play a C, or a C, or a C, or a C, right? Those are all C, but they're all different pitches. But C is a pitch class. You have to learn that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, right? This is the 12th fret on my guitar. So there's 12 locations for each pitch. But this string is the E string. This fret right here is the first fret of the E string. And we have now moved from E to F, a half step. So E is a half step away from F. Then we have F and G. G is a whole step away from F. I'm only focusing on notes that don't have sharps and flats right now. I'll tell you why in a second. G is a whole step away from A. A is a whole step away from B. B is a half step away from C. C is a whole step away from D. D is a whole step away from E. And we are back to E. 12th fret, 0. So there are 12 places from this E to that E. There are technically 21 pitch classes, and I'm going to recommend that you only focus on 19 of those at first anyway. The other few will, not be a problem. So those 19 pitch classes are as follows: E, F, F sharp or G flat, G, G sharp or A flat, A sharp or B flat, B, C, C sharp or D flat, D, D sharp or E flat, and then we're back to E. So one way to remember these two pairs of notes that are a half step away from each other, because if you can remember those, it's easy to remember the other ones. B and C and E and F. Big cats eat fish. Big cats eat fish. Big cats eat fish. Big cats eat. Okay. Anyway, so big cats eat fish. Now that you know all the notes, you can do that with every string. Sounds like a lot of fun, right? So, how do we go about learning the notes besides just going A sharp, B flat, B, C, C sharp, D flat, D? Like, how exciting is that? Let's focus a little bit more. Don't just recite the chromatic scale, even though that's fine. That's a great thing to be able to do too. There's value in practically everything, I'll say, in music, but there are better approaches than others. So here we go. I want to find every E on the guitar. Low E string, high E string. First two obvious locations for E. Let's find the next closest E. Well, what note is close to E? I think D is close to E, or C, or something like that. But I want to choose an open string because I'm familiar with open strings, right? So D is close to E, right? Maybe we can go D, E. D, D sharp, E. Okay, so we have this. E, E, and E. Now, here's where it gets tricky. Guitar is all shapes. I will try to say this in every single guitar tutorial video. You should always think of the guitar as a shape-oriented instrument. Anyway, this is a shape where if you imagine there's a fret behind this nut here, you can see this shape. can add this part to the shape, and you can move the shape. This is a trick that a lot of people talk about, and I'm just giving it to you from my own perspective. So you can move this shape if you're, good at it. You have to bar it, right? E, E, and E. Now, let's find another E, a very familiar E. Well, I've tuned the guitar without a tuner before, and I know that I can use this fret on the B string to tune the E string if I want to. So, that's an E. Okay, well, this is another shape here. Interesting. From the D string to the B string, you have this stretch. Okay, so this is an exploration mainly of octave shapes, because octave shapes are very useful in music. So, here we go. Octave shapes. Using octave shapes. So you have this octave shape. We have this one, where you're kind of over here, and if you move it, it kind of looks like a power chord without the center note, without the one in between, right? So that's the octave shape. This is G and G, both fingers are G. F sharp and F sharp, or G flat and G flat, F and F, E and E, so on and so forth. We're already getting tons of work done just by even thinking about this, right? This is all you have to do to learn the notes on the fretboard. That's it. Just find creative ways of doing it and keeping yourself engaged and interested. Don't worry too much about if it's the right way. If you're paying attention to the notes and you are correctly identifying the notes on the fretboard, it doesn't matter, right? Use shapes, right? The octave shape is very important, okay? This one, this one, this one, whoops, this one, so there, and then you have here, same one, and then you also have this one here. It's kind of a little trickier to do, stretchier. So explore these octave shapes and memorize where one note is. E, where's E? E, 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 and then E. I think that's it. E. Okay. Thanks for watching. I hope you have an excellent day and happy guitar playing.